And welcome back. I'm here today and absolutely thrilled to be talking with Egle Raadik. How are you, Egle?
Hello. I'm
Welcome,
very
welcome,
good.
welcome.
I'm very good. I'm enjoying the last days of summer here in North Europe.
So that was my first question. Where exactly are you calling in from?
Well, if you guys know where North Europe is, then this is close enough because I'm from a very small country called Estonia. It's mainly like what we do here is we program a lot
Mhm.
because the weather is like 90% is rainy and foggy, almost like London. So yeah,
Mhm.
a really small country, 1.3 million people only.
Oh, wow. Okay, so much smaller than I thought. I actually have been to Estonia many years ago, but
Wow.
just I was doing a cruise of the Scandinavian and of Scandinavia, and Estonia was one of the countries that we stopped in. So, oh
Yeah, the old
yeah,
town is great.
yeah, it's
Really, it
beautiful,
is.
beautiful, beautiful. So you in the capital city?
Yes, right now I am, but I actually grew up in a really tiny village. Like, I think there was less than 100 people over there. And I think this is one of my starting point as an
Mhm.
entrepreneur because I always knew there has to be something else in life
Mhm.
than just watching, grass grow.
Yeah. Now we also have something else in common. We were both born in the what was the Soviet Union at the time. Um,
Wow. Which country you're born?
I was born in Kiev in the Ukraine,
Oh,
and
wow.
my
Yes.
we left when I was 7, so I didn't actually grow up in that place. However, having parents that did, it sort of seeps into your blood the that Soviet thinking, I guess.
Yeah,
So
I know. Maybe this is like another spring that really gets you going is that in Soviet time, the entrepreneurship really is not encouraged, and kind of you kind of feel like you also don't want to be like everybody else. So you need to create unique ways how to make yourself happy in Soviet times.
yeah.
You have to take it on your own hands because this is like zero encouragement on this department.
So how old were you when Estonia left the Soviet Union?
I was about 10 years old.
Okay, so
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 I
you
know
you're still
times where
young.
you take these little papers and you go to the store to buy sausage and cheese, because everything was out. There was nothing to
Mhm.
buy. Everybody was wearing the same kind of clothing because this is what was in the season,
Mhm.
uh, because that was what was manufactured.
Yeah.
So yeah, I remember those times. It's a
And so
good
you pretty
contrast.
much you lived through the change. That would have been a very interesting time to change from the Soviet system to a market style economy, right?
That's actually get you thinking because my dad actually went to stand against the tanks attacking from Soviet Union when we became free, and at this time I couldn't realize how crazy thing it is that my dad actually went to this
Hmm.
human line of defense, and luckily they didn't start bombing. But it just gets me thinking of how lucky we are to be living in this time, and also how lucky we are that Bezos opened its door to us third-party sellers to just take
Hmm.
our businesses global. So there is just so much to be thankful of.
So let's circle back to Amazon. How long have you actually been selling on Amazon? What was your? How did you start?
I've been in this business more than 3 years now. By this time, coming to this day, we already have a team of 4. And actually, I feel like I don't really want to grow this team
Yeah.
so much longer. What I want to do is kind of circulate,
Hmm.
launching brands and selling them. So we are at the middle of hoping to sell in next. I don't know, maybe 10 months or so.
Hmm.
And it is a very interesting time because you kind of need to catch the right moment to sell, but you don't know when the
Yes.
right moment is. So you're just
Yeah.
trying to do your best and
Hmm.
develop the portfolio so the next owner would have plenty full of options as well to go.
Hmm.
And this is the life we're living right now. But
And
yeah,
so
team of 4, I love it. It's
Mhm.
small, it's manageable. We're all friends. We just had a wonderful dinner yesterday. And I know people who are doing it big. They're going like 20
Mhm.
plus people. But
Mhm.
for me, I have a very strong corporate background.
Mhm.
And I think starting from 10 people, it gets a little bit out of hand
Oh,
because you start
it
to need the
becomes a
middle.
different type of business, doesn't it?
Yes,
So
yes.
that leads me to my next question. What business experience did you have before you started on Amazon?
Well, I actually had many prior businesses, and I wouldn't call them like failures. This is not the correct word. I would rather like different classes I took. So
Learning experiences, right?
yeah. So I took a class of Life
Mm-hmm.
University, how to do
Mm-hmm.
kids furniture, how to do vending machines, how to be a digital marketer, how to have interior design business, and also to do some merch. So all of those kind of, I felt like I don't want to take those any further because
Mm-hmm.
this or that way, you know, some kind of constraints came haunting me. Either it was like I have to set up like a real production because we couldn't do that by hand anymore, or
Mm-hmm.
like with digital marketing or interior architecture company, I felt like I will always be the bottleneck because everybody wants to, you know, run the ideas through the manager. So I just, as much as I love those businesses, I just
Mm-hmm.
knew that I cannot be the bottleneck. I don't want to be the bottleneck. So I had to teach those business ideas before
Mm-hmm.
I found Amazon.
Okay. And so you're saying, so it's about 3 years or so ago when you first saw the opportunity. Uh, why did you decide to take the plunge with Amazon? What was going on in your life at the time that you felt that this was the right time for you?
Well, I was actually living in Asia at this time.
Okay.
Yes, and I met this assistant woman, and she was selling like all sorts of candy in Amazon. I was just thinking, oh my god, how crazy is that? Like, she
Wow.
is an assistant and she's selling candy in Amazon, and she's
Mm-hmm.
doing like multiple thousands on which each SKU for me at this time it just felt like enormous amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
And she was just selling somebody else's
Right. So
candy.
she was
So
wholesaling, right? She was wholesaling, not doing private label. Yeah.
she was doing both. She was
Okay.
doing both.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, then I was thinking, okay, how hard can it be? Because she's like an assistant. And, you know,
Right.
I'm like this. I've been doing
Yeah.
managerial roles and marketing, and I'm all
Mm-hmm.
this buffed up.
Yeah.
And then I'm just thinking, oh, yes, I love it. It's complicated. Just give it to me. I love puzzles. Puzzles is my life.
Mm-hmm.
And when I jumped in, I was just thinking, oh my God, what an assistant that was, because Amazon is complicated. It's crazy. It just drives me nuts. I was just learning 4 months alongside just trying to find products and, you know, just get something on the market. So that was a heck of an assistant doing that, I would say. A really, really brave woman. She was actually a woman that inspired me to go to Amazon. But I love Amazon, and I kept, you know, my vows with Amazon just because it always expands. It always gives me more opportunities to learn, and that has always been a problem in my corporate
Mm-hmm.
era, that, you know, I only keep a job for like maybe a year because it just gets boring. But, you know, this never happens with Amazon.
It's true. There's always something. So did you do a training course, or did you just, figure things out your own way? How did you learn? How did you start?
There were a few courses available at this time. I did some of them. I found some amazing mentors, and I also took a course that set me back about $20,000 just
Oh,
because
wow.
I made some mistakes
Mm-hmm.
following this advice. But, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's never 100% on the course. It's also because you're a beginner and you don't really know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I've had some downfalls on my
Mm-hmm.
journey for sure.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, you know, what I've grown to learn is that some of the most genius guys out here doing Amazon and also consultancy and I don't know, content on
Mm-hmm.
Amazon, they're not that loud. You know, the
Yeah.
louder the person is, I would say you have to be careful with it, because so many of people are trying to sell you the dream of Lamborghini and
Ah,
beaches
yes. Oh, yes. I
and
love the Lambo gurus. Yes.
oh yes.
we, we,
You know,
we all know. We all know some of
I'm
those.
keeping a small community of Estonian students here in Estonia, and I just wrote them an article that, you know, learn from these guys, but just be careful. And I just had a small list over there with the most Lambo flashing
Exactly.
activities.
Exactly. Those of us know that if we're successful on Amazon, our money is sitting in warehouses, not in our
Oh yeah, and
garages, right?
you wanna know how much my car cost? It's like 5,000 euros.
Yeah,
It just doesn't cost more.
that's it. If you're growing your business, your money's sitting in inventory, not in your Lambo.
Absolutely. Oh
Um,
yes, and you know, this is how it goes. You know, almost like Warren Buffett. You know, you just make money work.
yeah.
My company, you know, it's not only mine; it's team of four. It's not only my effort.
Mhm.
We are doing in between 3 to 4 million a year,
Mhm.
and we are extremely modest in spending money.
Yeah,
So I would just
absolutely.
be very careful. Like people telling you to go for the big lifestyle, I think, you know, lifestyle is great in Amazon, but I would be careful in lifestyle business, because a lifestyle business by default doesn't require too much work. At the same time, we know competition is coming on as well.
Yeah.
So I want everybody to just think a little bit. If you want to put in like 2 hours of work a
Mhm.
day or a week, some people want to do that.
Mhm.
It could be possible, but then you don't develop anymore, and you know, competition can just come and take your place. It could be
Yeah.
possible, but maybe it's possible for a couple of years only,
Yeah.
not forever.
And look, you know, for some people that they're happy with that, you know, that's the
Yes.
point is. So tell us about your journey so far. So it's
Oh yeah.
obviously been full of ups and downs in the last 3 years. So talk me through
Yeah,
it.
I would say that you know, do I'm really hoping to make 4 millions this year, but this is not, you know, overnight success in Amazon
Of course.
is not there. If people are doing overnight success, they are going to learn their lessons later in the
Mm.
journey. They're
Yeah.
gonna have failing products later in the journey. Like I see that
Mhm.
amongst my colleagues
Mhm.
even. And when I started back in 2017, I knew that I had to launch many products. So I went to baby category, which is a mistake, I think,
Mhm.
at least right now, because there's just so many like stay-at-home moms and, you know, maternity leave business streamers that are just throwing money on Amazon, and because they have babies, it's easy to start on babies. So I
Yes, of
failed on
course.
babies.
Oh, look,
I did.
when I had a baby, I started a baby clothes website. Don't we all?
Exactly. That's what I'm telling about. Like all these women, and women are amazing in creating businesses, but come on, women, we cannot just do all babies. Let's just
That's
do
right.
something
Mhm.
else too.
Mhm.
Anyway, I failed on babies.
Mhm.
I did sell baby crib sheets and the bandana drooling bibs,
Mhm.
but the competition was just so crazy,
Yeah.
and I just couldn't stand out.
Mhm.
And I launched some other products. Actually, two of them are still surviving. So out of
Mhm.
4 products I launched at the beginning, two of them are doing great, and one of those is actually what I thought was a 15,000 monthly revenue product, has actually grown the company to be multiple seven-figure company now. So I
Nice.
can later talk about this strategy. This is
Mhm.
I'm most proud of,
Mhm.
uh, you know, doing that with just with this one product.
Yes.
But I've been also testing like foldable balance beams in sports
Oh,
category.
wow. Mhm.
Oh yeah, and the experience from that is that it was oversized, even though it was foldable.
Mhm.
It was for small girls practicing gymnastics at home. You know, oversized stock always seemed to not end up in California. I just always ended up in some like inland warehouses, and I could never get the shipping right. So basically,
Right.
I failed because I could never get the shipping right. Just
Yeah,
Amazon just
it's
didn't
a.
give me the Californian storage.
Mhm.
And then I went a little bit crazy. Maybe, you know, that's the part of Amazon's selling journey when you get a little bit cocky.
Mhm.
I went to Indonesia to source lots of different like handmade products.
Right. Mhm.
And I sold an apartment before that just to have money to do that.
Mhm.
And that was the $20,000 or even euro failure, you know, because just too many products to launch. We had like 25 different SKUs plus the variations.
Mhm.
And, you know, by the time those things get in stock and they're inbounding, you don't even have pictures. You don't even have their keyword research done, because it's just way too
Just
many
too much
SKUs. And
stuff. Yeah.
you're just sitting there and just holding your head and thinking, oh my God, how is this work gonna get done? Because at this point, you don't have money either,
Mm.
because none of those are creating revenue yet. So
Mhm.
definitely do not launch 20 SKUs at the same time.
So you say
So yeah,
you're
so
hoping
I
to do
mean,
$4 million this year. So how many SKUs? That's a question that I always get asked. How many SKUs are you currently do you currently have? Hello.
well, we have about 4 or 5 main parents plus
Mhm.
all the variations. So it's about 15
Oh,
SKUs at
okay.
this point. But we keep launching a couple of new products. Even if we're hoping to exit, we're still launching new products just for the new owner to have something to grow as well.
Okay. And so obviously in that 3 years, you've touched on some of them already, but what are the major lessons you've learnt so far?
Well, maybe, because this is Women on Amazon show, I would firstly say for women that women, come on, think about your mental bandwidth. This is
Mhm.
something that my brother talked me through about it. Women just need to take care of their mental bandwidth. We have kids coming after us. We have all the house chores. We have all the, the calls we need to return. We have all the errands to run. And what I've learned throughout my journey is that a clean house has never created a business. A messy house
Ah.
creates a business.
I'm hearing you on that one, sister. Why do you think
And
I have
the
a
funny,
digital background on my Skype here, on my Zoom call?
and that is a very smart thing. We should do that all. The funny thing is that, the way women relieve stress is when we had a busy day, we coming home, we want to have everything beautiful and, clean and set up so we can just sit down and relax. And we don't realize that making the house clean and relaxable just takes us, I don't know, 3 hours, and we need to feed the kids in the same time and also attend the husband and do all those things. And by the time we're finished, we don't care about if the house is clean. We just so tired we go to bed, and we don't really allow ourselves enough time to have downtime. And here I'd like to notice how your husbands are working. They come home and their mind is like telling them, okay, sit down, do nothing, read newspaper, watch TV, or just hang around. We have to adopt this mindset. Really, we have to. And this is a conscious effort to do that, because biologically we just kind of, if we are stressed out,
And
we just take
social
it out.
and social programming as well is one of the other
Yes,
is one of the other
yes.
things, is as
So
women, we're programmed in a certain way to
yeah.
think, and I'm with you. I very much reject that.
So, I mean, I think the biggest takeaway is really, if a woman wants to create a business, is a mental bandwidth. We have to protect our mental bandwidth. And also, maybe a takeaway is that if you want to create a business, and I'm talking about myself, I was one of those people who was a conference junkie, a book junkie, a coaching junkie. I was just consuming all those things, and I never really took a step, because I was thinking,
Okay.
yeah, I'm just having these babies and I'm building this house and I'm doing this corporate career, ladder climbing activities, and I just don't have time to do all this. At the same time, I want to do this, and the clock is ticking, and I'm getting older, and I see my friends doing this and that, and failing and not failing. And the thing is that the first test of an entrepreneur is not to get discouraged when you don't have resources. Entrepreneur needs to create resources. We need to create resources. And the first test is to create resources where there's no resources. You don't have money, you don't have time, you don't have knowledge. So the first thing is just to create those things. And then you can go ahead and create a business, actually.
Okay. And so what accomplishments are you most proud of so far? Do you have like a best sales day ever, or was there something that you can look back over the last 3 years and go, wow, that made me feel amazing in this business?
Well, what I'm most proud of is the approach we took. I saw so many of my colleagues going in on Amazon at the early days. They're just launching so many products. I knew I had to launch many products. Yeah, I mean, everybody knows that, until you find your winning products. But they kept launching different products in different niches. And then they ended up with a portfolio of 10 SKUs, and one being like, I don't know, a cooking oil, and then like a shoe cleaner, and then a carpet, I don't know, Velcro that keeps it on the floor. And you just have a mess going around. What we did is, actually, when we found a winning product, it was this 15,000 monthly revenue product. It was actually nothing. And then we just started to make different variations out of it, and while you do it, Amazon grows, e-commerce grows, and the growth rate is pretty good. And even right now is like crazy high. And we started to take this concept, the winning concept, to different marketplaces. And now we're basically almost finishing up this year with Singapore, Saudi Arabia, Japan, all those smaller marketplaces, because we have covered already all the bigger ones, even Australia. So, and we're doing really good in Australia. If we could just get the products shipped to Australia, which is a struggle right now.
So yes, it's difficult to get anything into Australia at the moment. We have no
Yeah.
planes. We have
So
no
I'm just
planes
most,
flying.
I'm most proud of just focusing and not going crazy on just managing 100 SKUs, and because you need to become a professional on whatever you do. I try to sell like garbage bags in throughout my journey, and at this point I realized that even selling garbage bags, you need to deep dive so badly into the thickness of the plastic, into the diameter, into the, how tall the bag is, if this is to carry rocks or this is to carry dry leaves or something.
Feathers,
It's yes, it's just getting so crazy. So don't make yourself crazy, just stay to your winning product and just take it globally, and this is so much easier. You're working with the same suppliers. This is what I really like.
No, that's really good advice. What mentors, if any, have you had along the way?
Sorry?
What mentors, coaches?
Well, I haven't taken any Amazon mentorship. What I actually did is I turned that around. At the time when I didn't have money, I was in Amazon about 10 months or something. I learned already enough. I launched my first 4 products, which had failures and had successes. I already got some knowledge. So I started to teach people myself for free, because I realized that when I teach something to somebody, I just learn so much faster. Because if I say the words out, I kind of notice how new ideas spark into my head. And I was kind of mentoring other people, and I was just thinking of myself, oh my God, like, that's a smart idea. I should do that. Like, why haven't I done that in my own business? But this only is possible when you have a discussion, when the ideas are out there. So, oh my God, my mic just dropped.
That's okay. I can still hear you. It's all good.
Yeah. So I turned that table around just to learn faster. But what I've learned is that the most genius guys are not the loudest. Find the ones which are not too loud, but they're just like amazing people. Like, one person I really, really highly admire is Traian Turcu from Romania.
Yeah, Traian,
and he's amazing.
He's excellent. Yes,
he's amazing. And he's not like, he's never with a Lamborghini.
No.
Yeah, no.
So there's so many different tools out there at the moment. So what tools do you currently use that you find really useful in your business?
Yeah, I think we tend to use, as Amazon sellers, pretty much the same tools like Helium 10 and stuff. So, I mean, this is like a hygiene thing. What I've discovered for myself is definitely when you have a team, even if you just have a one VA, you definitely want to have a project management system. We have it in Asana, and we have it like drawn out on a timeline. So it's really easy to see who is doing what and how long they predict that is going to take. So you can actually plan your listing creations and video ad creations, because you see that, the marketing person, she's just so busy. She just cannot do it this week. She can do it in 3 weeks. So this is enormous help. But something I've created for myself, which I haven't found from anywhere, is that, as an Amazon entrepreneur, some failures happen when you don't have a big picture in front of your eyes. And I just went to canva.com and I just created a background desktop planner, which has a yearly plan from one quarter to another quarter, broken down to months. And then the last piece is a week. So I would just know. I would just know what's going on in my business and where do I want to go. And then I can
goal setting tool.
Yeah, I kind of feel like whoever doesn't have that yet, like a yearly plan or something broken down at least to quarters, that should be a must. Otherwise you just because everything just takes so much time. Like, if you want to launch 6 products in a coming year, like, how are you going to do this? Is it going to be 1 product a month, or 2 products a month, or what is your tempo about it? And this just helps to get clarity, and clarity is super important in a messy world of e-commerce.
Okay, so coming to launching and ranking, this is sort of one of those the key pillars of our business. Is you can't just necessarily find a product, stick it on Amazon, and then cross your fingers and hopes that it sells. I've always followed advice where you really got to launch your product the same as you would a proper business. So what do you currently do that you find works for launching and ranking your products?
Well, because our portfolio is really coherent, we are using a lot of piggybacking launch techniques.
Yep.
We have this one listing that is doing extremely well, and all the variations we bring to the market, they are pretty much the same thing, the same function, just a little bit different design or color or accessories or something. So we are trying to piggyback those, like adding those as childs to the parent, just to get the extra visibility. But we don't keep those children there forever, because what we eventually want to create is the dominance of the first page with our listings. And we have found that when you separate children from parents, when the children have grown up, that means that the velocity is high enough to be separately on the first page. We just let them go. We just kick them out the house. So this is what we do, and this is very simple, and it has working really greatly for us. And another thing is that if you're kind of thinking that which smaller marketplace you want to go to, it is definitely easier to go to a marketplace where Amazon is already selling your product, because the listing is already there. Some kind of basic indexing and ranking is already there. We have this experience. If I compare Holland and Australia, in Australia, we were sold by Amazon already like a year with like extremely high price. And in Holland, we did not have any listings because this is a new marketplace. So basically, you are comparing instant success because you're already visible. That means Australia to like about 90 days of kind of stagnant situation that even you cannot even start campaigns. They don't go on. You put the money there and the campaign doesn't even start because the indexing is not finished and stuff like that. So it could take up to 90 days in a completely new marketplace. So I would just suggest, if you have a choice, take the listings that are already created by Amazon, and it's easier.
So just to clarify the strategy here. So if you've got a product that's selling, let's say in America, and what Amazon, and we've discussed this on the podcast before with other, in fact, with Amazon Australia. So Amazon Australia will sell it here from the US listing as an international listing. And so your strategy is to then take over that listing and send product into FBA here in Australia, correct?
Yes, but Amazon is not selling your products in all the marketplaces. So go ahead and find, where is it sold by Amazon? Because it could be sold by anybody, and actually that could also work. But in most marketplaces, Amazon is not selling your product, and it is so much harder to start brand new when you don't have any indexing, any prior history. And it is just super easy when you do have that.
Yeah, and I love that, and in fact, it's something that I've also done and forgotten that I've done it. So thank you for reminding me. Is launching a new product as children, and then that gives them visibility and reviews, and then spinning them off in their own individual listings. Instead, I used to do this when we used to have shared reviews. But they don't have shared reviews. But again, if it's a variation, then it's likely to get the visibility if it's a variation of a good selling product. So that's an excellent strategy. So thank you. That's none of my previous guests have mentioned that one. So
I think, I think what happens in Amazon, e-commerce, it could be really, really complicated, but we could forget about all the easy things. And sometimes easy things are the most genius things. And we just think that, I have to go to like ManyChat and I have to, make all these Google ads and Google shopping and stuff like that, But, you just start with the easy things.
Yep. Fair enough. And so do you also sell on other platforms like Shopify, eBay, or are you only on Amazon?
Well, it just took me like 4 weeks to get the eBay listing going because eBay had like an internal error and the new sellers could not create new listings. Can you believe that? I mean, in
No.
competition with a Walmart and Amazon. I mean, how is that possible that eBay is not allowing creation of new listings by new sellers? But now it's fixed. I have a listing in eBay, but I'm just starting out. So that's the
Okay.
first outside of
And
Amazon
what about
thing we're
Walmart?
doing.
Are you selling on Walmart?
No, not yet.
Mhm. Okay. And so you were saying, so you're selling in some quite obscure marketplaces. Did you say you've started in Singapore?
Going to Singapore, Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia was like super funny to register. You have to register VAT over there, but you have to kind of copy all the English information also to Arabic language,
Fabric.
but you have no idea about these letters, and this comes from
Mm.
right to left as well. So
So
like, or your
you need to
name.
have somebody do that for you, right? You really need a native
Well,
speaker. Yeah.
no, I was just like Googling how can I transcribe the English names to Arabic letters, and I just kind of hope that everything is okay. I don't know, like if
Okay.
eventually it comes out like my company is named like a chicken farm incorporated, maybe it is, but
Well,
at least I
we'll
tried.
see. Okay. Well, report back and see how it goes. Is Saudi Arabia
Yeah.
launched, or is it going to launch?
It's going to launch. It should be pretty interesting. But you can do that when you have an American company. You cannot do it with a European company.
Right. So you
I
must
don't know
have
if you
a
can do
US.
that. Yeah, I don't know if you can do that with Australian companies. So it has
I
some
don't know.
pre-requirements.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know. Might need to get an accountant to talk about that. So, how has your life changed since you started this business?
Well, I think the classical journey of entrepreneurship is like you want to take some stresses out of your life and you jump in and you create more stresses. No time,
Hmm.
increasing body weight because you're sitting down like
Hmm.
14 hours a day and stuff like that. So you're getting yourself in a really bad situation. But yeah, eventually I just wanted to get some money situation sorted out and take some stress off the table. But actually, what I realize right now is that entrepreneurship is a huge platform for self-development and growth
Hmm.
that I just enjoy. And whatever comes to my way, like right now, our biggest European marketplace, Germany, is suspended because we went over the threshold of 100,000 euros per year too fast, and we couldn't
Oh, wow.
register the VAT fast enough. And
Hmm.
this was generating so much revenue for us, like almost half of the European revenue.
Mm.
Whatever life brings your way, I just take this, okay, how can I learn from this? What is that if I solve this and my competition is not solving this, and they just think, okay, I'm just going to sell in UK and France and Spain,
Hmm.
I am going to take all the chips from the table because they just think it's too hard. It's just actually you just need to learn and just take time and just breathe in and breathe out and just jump into creating listings in Arabic. I don't know, like you do whatever you have to do.
So, what do you think is your superpower?
Yeah, my superpower definitely is that every problem is an opportunity. This must be a superpower because that really enables you to create Amazon business easily. And easily is a tricky word because Amazon business is not easy. It is a business like anything else. It's super competitive, but I really don't see a reason why anybody should fail or could fail if they're willing to just learn from any bucket they step into, and they just keep going and they learn. You cannot make the same mistakes 2 or 3 times or 4 times. You're going to stop doing those mistakes and then you're going to start succeeding. You are going to find a product that is going to hit the home run, and you are going to find a supplier who is actually going to be able to keep the terms. And but the mindset really that every problem is an opportunity, that what makes Amazon business creation easy. Otherwise, I don't, Amazon is not for weak in mind, but this mindset makes it possible to have this business
Yeah.
also as a fun thing to do.
Hmm. And so, what's next for you in the business?
Well, I should be like, my team is expecting me right now to figure out the next brand that we're going to launch after exiting this, the current one. So they're looking at me every day with like huge eyes and just asking me what it's gonna be, what it's gonna be. So I'm just looking at the ceiling and thinking what it's gonna be. I don't know what it's gonna be.
So do you have your brand currently on the market?
Soon, very soon.
Mhm.
Yeah, we are actually using a consultancy company just to look over the financials.
Mhm.
And what one thing that I want to maybe suggest to other business owners out there is that it could be a good idea to go through an exit, the first exit with the consultancy company next to
Mhm.
you at
Mhm.
first time. Because if you're going to keep turning the wheels and repeating the same thing, then you already know from the day one what you need to do right.
Mhm.
And then it is so much easier and faster to turn this wheel of profits. So
Mhm.
why not to just take, this is almost like acquiring a master's degree because it is a lot of work and learning as well, but it just enables faster growth for the future. So why not to do that? You're not leaving like money on the table. Like even if I spend like over $100,000 for this consultancy for a year, you know, they are going to help me to increase the multiple for the exit and the exit price way more than that.
Okay. And so if you had just one piece of advice for somebody who's starting out, what would that be?
Well, the thing is that I think life is about contrasts. There are many dreamers out there. I used to be a dreamer, but I would maybe kind of, if I had a conversation with somebody who wants to start out, I would kind of try to dive into what is their contrasting experience and what do they want to achieve in life, because that really defines if you are going to learn from all the failures, mistakes, and catastrophic situations you could call. You put yourself like, you know, you like I had, like I sold my apartment and I lost 20,000 euros. Like that's not an okay situation to be in.
No, that's a pretty big risk, isn't
That
it?
is a pretty big risk, but you go over those when you have a contrasting feeling, like you've been feeling like, yeah, like I did not have enough resources when I was a kid. I really want to have better future for my kids. I really don't want to worry about money, or like I want to achieve something great in my life. I want to have freedom to do what I want. Like, is this contrast in your life big enough? If this contrast is not big enough, then I think you are better off in corporates. And this is true in any entrepreneurship story. Your why needs to be strong enough, and if it is not strong enough, you can create it to be strong enough, but you have to be aware of it, because otherwise you are going to be giving up on the first problem that comes on your way. But just like 5 minutes ago, you know, my biggest point of success is that every problem is an opportunity, and you have to carry on even though you have problems, and problems are the way. Stress-free life is not the entrepreneurship life. So you kind of have to turn your life around. Your life is not about relaxing and travels and stuff about, but you have to kind of learn, teach yourself how to enjoy solving problems, and you want to solve the problems. And if you make this fun for yourself, then success is inevitable.
Beautiful. What a great way to finish off. So thank you so much for
Thank
your
you.
time today. It's been an absolute pleasure and a joy to chat with you. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm also like hoping to, I don't know, inspire and invite more women to just try business and try Amazon. So anybody who wants to follow my story can just find me from Instagram under Egle Raadik. So I don't sell any courses. I don't monetize that. I'm just sharing my story over there. So
Perfect. And
if you're interested,
we'll link to all of your socials in the show
yeah,
notes and below this video if you're watching it on YouTube. So
thank
terrific.
you.
Thanks so much. And
Mhm.
maybe when the skies open up again, we can meet somewhere along the way. I would love to do that.
Whenever the planes go to Australia, I'm definitely, because you know the Australian community is amazingly strong, and I admire you guys energy and I don't know, support to each other so much that I'm definitely going to be there in next 12 months for sure, whenever the planes allow that to happen.
Perfect. Thank you, darling. Thank you.
Thank you.